Welcome back, everybody. So, if you're anything like me, you probably know enough about stuff just to be super frustrated. You know, I've got a fan here. This is a Lesco 48-inch Ultra Air, and it turns on, but it doesn't work. And I found a hack to kind of get it to work. Just thought I'd share it with you. So, on top here, you have the remote receipt, and based on the small wiring, you can probably tell this is direct current. And it runs all the way down to the bottom. And this is where the alternating current comes in. And there's a big capacitor, which is probably one of those start and run capacitors for AC motors, which is this fan right here. And in between, there are a lot of integrated circuit. So this is where I wish I had paid more attention in school and we're covering this, but regardless, without knowing any of this or most of this, so what happens is the power comes in and there's a AC component and then there's a DC component. So these right here, these are rectifying diodes. So somehow, just judging by the patterns, you could tell like these three wires, these three leads, probably it's lower DC and gets transferred up to the control panel for the remote control and all that fancy stuff. This on the left hand side right here, the larger paths are probably for the AC. And so this DC part controls the AC part, right? With these various diode switches. So you see over here on this side, there are transistors and MOSFETs. So these are usually gates to control on, off, and whatnot. And since it's not working, and I don't remember enough about circuits to deal with this, what we could do is, if you notice on here, you'll see like the oscillator, super low, low, high. So each of these coils of wire run into the motor and are responsible for certain windings. And before the days of digital stuff interfering, everything was mechanical. So what we could do is actually bypass all of this. And I'm going to make a mechanical switch and just set it to 1 speed, which is probably ultra high. And if we jumper this lead over to the capacitor, you could turn this into a from a smart fan into a dumb fan, but dumb and reliable fan. All right, I'm gonna go short these two leads and create a manual switch outside. I'll show you the final result. All right, we're going to backtrack a little bit. I misspoke earlier. So the capacitor is already wired into the motor. So what we're going to do is, see these switches right here, the direct current side, control the power that comes in from, you can kind of see the line power that comes in. So line power comes in here and goes out here. So in between here and here, it goes through the circuit. And what we're doing is we're going to short the power. We're just going to feed power directly to this part of the equation. And so power will come in, and we're going to set it to the high setting, and just I'm going to solder it in and just control the power by using the plug. It's too complicated to wire in a switch, so that's what we're doing. So just to show you that it works, so as a test platform, we have the hot connected to the high setting winding. All right. And remember to do this with the power cut off. And of course, if you're even fiddling with this, I assume you have some common sense. So here, I'm gonna plug it in. If you notice, the fan has now come on. Unplug it. Yep, so that's what we're doing. All right, there it is. I shorted out the incoming power, line power, with the high loop. Yeah, the motor winding, the high setting. And so now it's hardwired to work. I'm gonna put it back in its casing and consider this thing sort of fixed. So as far as turning it on and off, I'm gonna be controlling it with like my smart plug, so that way we can kind of control it. All right, if you ever run into this problem, I hope this video helped you. All right, good luck.